Renee, I'm back. So, I decided to film my Sequelathon wrap up. Yeah, and it's the same outfit as yesterday. I'm gonna post it tomorrow, or the for me tomorrow. I'll film it in the same day, so that's why. And yeah, Sequelathon wasn't awful. Uh, there was some books, but yeah. Let's just get on with it and just tell you which books I read. So I got finally a map from here to there by Emery Lord. Honestly, it was one of the disappointments. I didn't like it all that much. I ended up skimming it really. Okay, so this is it's a sequel to a book that came out years ago. And the book that came out years ago, it felt like perfectly fine being a standalone. You didn't really feel like you needed more. But then I heard that this was coming out, so I was like, interesting. Like, sometimes when books are written as standalones and years after they have sequels, they can be big time fails, or they can be kind of good. It's a hit or miss, really. Yeah, miss, really. I didn't really. I felt like the characters, the actions were uninteresting, the characters, the plot was uninteresting. It was just. I ended up skimming a lot of it, and yeah. And honestly, as you might notice, I recently got this because I bought it. I haven't hauled it. Probably won't haul it because I'm planning on unhauling it. So I won't really include it in a haul and then include it in an unhaul. So yeah, this is probably going to be the only video you see this one in. Because, yeah, wasn't that good. Wasn't awful, but yeah, yeah. I didn't really feel it. I didn't really. I didn't really getting a sense of why it needed to exist. I didn't really feel like it needs to exist. Really. I think the first one works perfectly as a standalone. I suppose what you could do like a novella, like you sometimes do, but a whole book, it didn't really work. It didn't really work for me. No, it did not. Next one is also a bit of disappointment. It's A Double Life of Incorporate Things by Leanne Renee Heber. So this is the third book in the Magic Most Foul series. I read the first one years ago, and then I actually read the second one years ago. I didn't remember reading the second one, but yeah. I reread the first one in December, not that long ago. And then I read the second one also. I started reading on this one, but I wasn't really in the mood for it. But I was like, you know what? You're gonna read it! Read it! Not long, you're gonna read it! Yeah. Picked it up. And yeah, I tried to like reread it, but I wasn't that interested, so I ended up skimming it. And honestly, I would say this series is one of those series that I think would work perfectly as a standalone, or maybe it's a duology. But a trilogy, no, I didn't really feel it needed to be a trilogy. I liked the setting and I liked the characters and all that, but I didn't really feel like a third book was needed. Really, I felt like it could have done perfect putting this story in one huge book, or making two books. But three books? No, no, it wasn't really needed. I mean, I love how it ended. And it's kind of fun that also it actually concludes with like opening to a spin-off series. So that's kind of fun. But other than that, no. I suppose part of why I don't really love this anymore, or this series, like I remember reading the first book years ago, I'm like, oh, I love it so much! And now my love for this series has kind of dampened because the sequels, both of them aren't really that good. And I suppose kind of part of it is because they're gothic, and so they're very scary and creepy, and that's not for me. And for in the first book, they're creepy-ish. The second book takes it to a whole nother level. So, yeah. This one was disappointed as well. We have Rich People Problems by Kevin Kwan. It's the third and final book in a Crazy Rich Asian trilogy by him. I read Crazy Rich Asians 2 years ago, and the second one last year, and then this one now. So actually read one each year now. I'm pretty sure you read the second one last year. Not completely sure, but anyway, I have read the second one. And and this one I enjoyed very much. I enjoyed it. I suppose I kind of enjoy it the way I enjoyed the rest of the series. They're good, they're entertaining, but I feel like I love the scenes in them and I love the characters. Like, I don't really understand the point of view. Like, the series is good, but the series has like 1,000 characters, and not all of them are equally interesting. At least not to me. And in this one, I loved some of the aspects of it, but some aspects were like, what? Why did this happen? Why did you do it like this and like this? But still, it's not awful. It's a nice time. It's a nice reading time, really. And and I think actually this one was, to me, I would think it was the most fun of all these books. Like, haha, fun in like a comedic way. So that's that. So I really like reading about the setting of like rich Asia and stuff. So, and I heard of some books like jumping on the crazy rich Asian trends. So, if this book or book series will like create a trend of more Asians high society, I would really like that. I think that because I think that's fun to read about. And yeah, this one I gave 4 stars, 3 stars, almost. This book, The Long Game, by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I read it last Saturday, so just a few days ago now. Yeah, a few days ago. Time flies. And oh my god, it's so good. So this is the second and final book in Fixed Duology. Jennifer Lynn Barnes has said in interviews that she wanted to write more, but unfortunately, there wasn't that much audience for this series, so she kind of just wrapped it up. There wasn't like enough interest to write more in it, sadly, because I love it so much, so much. I read this on Saturday. I read it more or less in one sitting, and then I think it's actually one of the few books I actually had like a book hangover for, because I didn't pick up a book on. I don't think I saw a new book on Saturday. On Sunday, maybe I saw a new book on Sunday evening, but not like on Sunday. It took a long time before I read anything really. So this one really, really shook me. Shook me. It has all the twists. As was. Now you know there's twist in it, but like I'm not telling you what twists are. Like if they're family or friend or romance and etc. It's just twists. So many twists. And it goes on non-stop. Like the beginning, the first half of it is like, oh, interesting, and then halfway, like, oh my freaking god, what is gonna happen? How would you? What? You're just so. It's just so intense. You're so captured in the action of it. It's just so good, so good, so good. And very sad that it's the last book. At the same time, actually think like fits very much like as a duology. You don't need more books. Like if she wrote novellas, yes. If she wrote standalone, if she wrote sequels, like no, companion books, yes. But like I think like it's pretty good wrapped up. And like I love the characters, but like this one is one of those series like if you write more, as of course every old series, you write more after you end it. You have to take the characters and give them peril and give them danger and stuff and give them some conflict. And like sometimes like, no, you had enough of conflict. And sometimes you think like, oh, okay, I suppose there's some if there's like some plot lines hanging in the midair that you would want those things to be resolved. But here, there's not really big things really unresolved, really. Not huge things, really. You can just make them up in your head. So I would really enjoy this if this happened to come to Hulu or like Netflix or something, because this as a TV series or two movies would just be amazing, amazing. Think Scandal for teens, or maybe Veronica Mars. It has very Veronica Mars vibe to it. I got it reading this one and the first one, and yeah, it's very, very good. I'm loving it. Yeah, it's like it got like 5,000 stars for me because yeah, love it that much. Sorry. And then we have Mourn Jamie Baker by Kelly Oram. It's the second book in the Jamie Baker, Kelly Baker, in the Jamie Baker's trilogy. So I read the first one years ago, and then I reread it last year, and decided like, you know what, I want to read the rest of this series. So yeah, picked up this one, and for a lot of it was like halfway interesting, like it was interesting plots and stuff, but like I kind of felt like it was kind of predictable, and like it's interesting, but I'm not like loving it. And then the end is like, oh my god! And then of course, but yeah, it ends on cliffhanger, like a huge ass cliffhanger. So yeah, you're gonna really need to. If you read the first book and then you want to read the second book, you should buy the second and third book in one go, because this one you need the third book right straight after this one really. I don't have it, so I'm kind of dying here. I need the last book. So yeah, I'm definitely getting a hold of the last book before the end of the year. Definitely buying that one. Definitely. And yeah, even though the rest of like the book wasn't awesome, it was still interesting. And but yeah, the end of like, oh my god, this is how it ends. So yeah, it's very fun. I'm really looking also like there's some aspect of this I'm like, oh, I'm really looking for how you handle that in the third book. So yeah. So that those I did, as you kind of might remember, I did plan to read Casey West Split Second. I started it, didn't finish it. Wasn't really that much in the mood for it. And since Sequelathon is over, then I wouldn't have finished it for Sequelathon. It's not unlikely that I'll read it like by the end of this week. And it's an older book, so it would work for backlistathon. So it might end up in my backlistathon wrap up, but I'm not completely sure. Might be, but I'm not completely sure. Um so yeah, I won't be showing that because I just started that one. And also I had planned to read Kim Lu Jerting's language trilogy, the second and third book. Didn't end up reading that once either. I might pick up those later in this week. Who knows? I did also listen to some audiobooks. I listened to Spartan Promise. Well, sorry, as always, you can't really see it. I listened to Spartan Promise by Jennifer Estep. It's the second book in the Mythos Academy spin-off series, Colorado. It's the one with Gwen's cousin. And this one, yeah, disappointed as well. I really liked the narration of it. Like I liked listening to it. I mean, I read the rest of the series like in paperback, so I haven't listened to it. Like, oh, it's fun to listen to this book. Like, oh, it's not that bad narrative really. I really liked listening to the story, but the story itself, mm, it wasn't awful, but it was just slightly above awful. It wasn't amazing. It was fine. It kind of felt like a filler. It wasn't all that good. Yeah, all that good. The third book is actually already out, so I probably will read that before the end of the year because yeah, it is a good series all in all. And yeah. And then we also have A Kingdom of Ashes by Rhiannon Thomas. A Wicked Thing number 2. It's the second one in a duology. I started listening to that one. I got maybe like halfway, and then just DNF'd it because I wasn't interested. I just lost completely interest. It was just so uninteresting. And I kind of felt like the first book felt like it could have just worked as a standalone, and yeah, I just stopped it. I was just not interested anymore. I wasn't. I did, however, start and finish Firestarter by Tara Sim, Timekeeper number 3, the third one in that trilogy. And yeah, this one as well. I wasn't hugely disappointed by it because it has not really. It has some really nice aspects and some really nice scenes, but like all in all, I felt like it was fine. I felt like the ending was weird and confusing sometimes, and I felt like the very end, like, is that how you end it? Really, really? I didn't like. I liked it, but like I felt like the ending could have been done better, so much better. And yeah, uh, honestly, after listening to this third book in the trilogy, I felt like this trilogy could have either have been turned into one book or been turned into a duology. I didn't really feel like it needed to be 3 books. Really, it wasn't this third book wasn't that it wasn't that great really. So yeah, sadly, that's the truth of it really. So yeah, for the Sequelathon, I end up reading 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8 books. 8 books. 2 on audio, and 2 DNFs. No, 2 DNFs. 1 DNFs. 1 DNF. Yeah, and yeah, that's really. I still had a nice time doing it. Still enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll be here for next Sequelathon, which might be in the fall, I think. Maybe Sequelathon is like one of those that's happening twice a year. I think most of them happen twice a year. So yeah, the next one, I'm definitely there. Definitely. Yeah. This is me saying Renee out.